Yo, 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 yo. Hey, everybody. It's Mr. G, and this is a video on congruent figures. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to look at two figures that have been, we're going to look at an image and a pre-image and determine if they're congruent or not. And we're going to figure out how they got to where they're going to be, how the pre-image became the new image. So, and it's just recognizing when they're going to be congruent and when they aren't going to be congruent. So let's move this over a little bit. Here's what we're going to do. There we go. I have to make it a little bigger. Sorry. Okay. So we want to identify a sequence of transformations that will transform A over to B. So we started with A. This is our pre-image, and B is our new image because it tells us transform figure A into figure B. So this is just identifying how do we get from here to here. So the first thing we have to we notice is that the orientation of the figure is different. So it's facing a different direction. So whenever the orientation is different, we have to do one of two things. We have to either reflect it or we have to do a rotation. Then I also know that this is 1 away from the y-axis, this is 2 away from the y-axis. So therefore they're also a little bit further away from each other, so I might have to also do a little bit of a slide as well. So the first thing I want to do is I want to flip it, because if I flip this over this way, like we said, it's 1 away, so that means it's going to be 1 away. That's how reflections work. This one's 2 away, so that means this one's going to be 2 away. So it's going to be right here. So that one line segment is going to be right here. I know that's ugly looking. Let's see if I can make that look a little bit better, because that was hard to watch. A little bit better. No, not really. Anyways, so this segment becomes this segment. So notice how it's now facing the correct direction. So what I did is I had to reflect over the y-axis. And I knew I had to reflect or rotate, but by flipping it, I could tell that it was going to be facing the right direction. So I reflect over the y-axis. And then once I do that, because I'm at this one segment right here, I just have to slide 1 to the left, which is a translate. And that's it. So we're just writing out how we get from the pre-image to the image. So same thing to go from B to C. So to go from B to C, the orientation again is different. So I have to rotate this or reflect it, but this one looks like a clear rotation. And it looks like I gotta rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise. Now let's see what happens when I do that real quick. It does end up facing the right direction. So when I rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise, I am facing the correct way. So now my orientation is the same. Now I can just do a quick little slide. And that slide, that translation, will get it to where it needs to go. And it looks like, let's see, this point right here matches this point. It looks like we're supposed to be on the origin, so I gotta go 2 up and 1 over. So that's it. So let's go back to the beginning. So for this one, I'm gonna rotate 90 degrees. That was counterclockwise. I'm gonna put counterclock. And then I would have to slide it up to right 1. And that's our series or sequence of transformations to get from B to C. Try this one on your own. See how you do. All right. So let's see. I'm trying to go from figure D to figure E. Now, I know that figure D needs to be rotated. If I reflect it a bunch, it's always going to be still facing it's always going to have this side be on the bottom no matter what, no matter how I reflect it. So I have to rotate it. So I also don't want to rotate it 180 degrees, because if I rotate it 180 degrees, it's going to also be facing the same way. But if I rotate it 90 degrees clockwise or counterclockwise, it doesn't really matter actually, because that's going to get me to where I need to go. And here's what I mean by that. Let's do that rotation. So let's see, if I rotate 90 degrees, all right, that's a pretty good spot right there. Okay, then I just have to slide it down. 180 degrees, whoa, then it would be right here. I mean, if I had to go 90 degrees counterclockwise, and then right here, then I just need to slide to the right and down. So I do want a little bit of a less of a translation if I slide it to the, if I rotate it clockwise, but if you rotated it counterclockwise, that totally works. And it looks like I'll just have to rotate it, let's see, 1, 2, 3, because this is going to be 1 up. So, I mean, translate it 3 down. Now the big thing, you guys, is these shapes are congruent. This is still the same size. This is still a side length of 1, 2, still a side length of 1, 2. Still side length of 1, 2, 3, side length of 1, 2, 3. They're still the exact same size and shape. They've just been altered a little bit. Same with these ones. These are still the exact same size and shape. They've just been moved around a little bit. The orientation has changed. They've been moved around on a graph. So they are congruent. That's all we got. Okay, so for things to remember, what I want you guys to do for your things to remember is to, let's see here, draw a star. Okay. And then that's it. There's really nothing for things to remember here, because it's just using all the tools that we've already done. So draw a star though, because this is my way of knowing that you actually watched the whole video. And that's it, guys. Hope this helped. If you have any questions, let me know. Good to get us out.